So, what happens when you mix a middle school student with two broken legs, way too much free time on his hand, and unlimited access to all of the town's surveillance cameras? Well, you get the book Scoop, the brand new mystery from Gordon Korman. Everybody loves Gordon Korman, right? Well, this book is part Rear Window, part school drama, as is typical with Gordon Korman, and 100% all of the humor and heart that you would find in a Gordon Korman novel. Hi, my name is Jonathan, and this is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. Today, we're going to be talking about Gordon Korman's brand new book called Snoop. Now, in Snoop, you have this young man named Carter who, because he is so addicted to screens, when he was on the top of a ski mountain, wasn't paying attention, ended up getting in a terrible accident involving him and his brother, and has broken both of his legs. Now, because he has two broken legs, he can't really get around, so his parents arrange for him to do school from home. So just like we did during COVID, in many situations, Carter is at home while the rest of his classmates are at school. And life is going on without him. He's bored. He finds out that the girl that he likes might be having a crush or be in a relationship with his arch enemy, which is a guy who runs a group called the chairman of the board, a bunch of pranksters that run around and doing things. So he finds a way to access all of the town's surveillance cameras, the ones that are run by the police. And with a little bit of YouTube knowledge, he actually finds out that he can access the one in the ice cream parlor and the one in the sandwich shop and all of the different cameras that are around town. And so because he has so much time on his hand, Carter starts to see things and notice things about his town that normally he would walk right by. Like, why is that red car always there? And who is that mysterious man that's constantly walking past the art store? And where did all of these animals, like the red panda and the three-toed sloth, where did they all come from? And the crazy thing is that nobody believes him when he tells them about these things. Now, what I really liked about this book is the way that it was written. All right. If you've read any Gordon Korman books before, you know that he is the master of pacing. One of the things about this book that was very different than some of his more recent books is that this book was written from one point of view. If you've read books like Faker or Slugfest or any of those, you know that they are school stories, which Snoop is, but they're told from multiple characters in the story. Snoop is told entirely from Carter's perspective. So you get to really get inside his head and get to know who he is. The drama that takes place is really interesting too. And it's very much like what you might see in a school situation. So your students, if they're reading it, will probably be able to relate to Carter based on what's going on. There was an incident that took place and a lot of kids got in trouble as a result of some of the things that Carter did. Not that they were bad things, but they led to some of the kids who were pulling a prank and getting into trouble. And so he became ostracized, even though he wasn't at the school. Another thing that I really liked is I really liked the relationship between Carter and his little brother. And all throughout the book, we're reminded by Carter that his little brother's the reason why he has two broken legs. But at the end of the day, Carter and his brother have a relationship. It's one of those relationships, big brother, little brother relationships, where you absolutely love the person, but you also hate their guts every moment of the day. And unless you have an older brother or a younger brother or an older sister or younger sister, you may not understand that. In fact, I recently heard an interview with Gordon Korman, who said that he didn't really understand that relationship because he was an only child. But the editor of his book was a brother, so he knew exactly the dynamic that they were going for. So who is this book for? Teachers, if you have students who like mysteries, who are familiar with Gordon Korman work like Masterminds, great series, by the way, or the Toast trilogy by James Ponti, this would be an excellent book to recommend to them. It has a little bit of mystery. It's not over the top. There are a few things that I was a little concerned about. So maybe read it ahead of time, especially when Carter seems to think he sees his teacher involved in some things that he shouldn't be in. Um, and truthfully, this is going to be a great addition to any classroom library. You might even consider doing it for a read aloud. It's that enjoyable. So Snoop is classic Gordon Korman writing. It's fast, it's funny, it's got that sneakiness to it. So if you are looking for a quick read, it took me just a couple of days to read it. Your students will probably read it in just about that amount of time. That really gets them thinking about the pros and cons of having screens and how much information we take in with them. Then I would recommend checking out Snoop by Gordon Korman. So, Snoop by Gordon Korman, have you read it and what did you think? If you have a favorite Gordon Korman book, leave that title down in the comments. And as always, my name is Jonathan. This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. We'll see you next time.